This is Angela Rayner's letter to the Prime Minister. She says, "Dear Keir, thank you for your personal and public support that you have shown me." She then goes on to say, "On Wednesday, I referred myself to your independent advisor to conduct a thorough investigation into my personal financial circumstances after I became aware I inadvertently paid the incorrect amount of stamp duty." She goes on to say, "I've always taken my responsibilities as Deputy Prime Minister, Secretary of State for Housing and Local Government, as well as a Member of Parliament, with utmost seriousness. I have long believed that people who serve the British public in government must always observe the highest standards. And while the independent advisers concluded," this is new, "that I acted in good faith and with honesty and integrity throughout, I accept that I did not meet the highest standards in relation to my recent property purchase." So the Deputy Prime Minister, or former Deputy Prime Minister, say in there that the independent advisor accepts she acted in good faith and with honesty, and I think that will really matter to her personally, but that she accepts she did not meet the highest standards in public office. She says, "I deeply regret my decision not to seek additional specialist tax advice, given both my position as Housing Secretary and my complex family arrangements. I take full responsibility for the error." She then goes on and says, "I'd like to take this opportunity to repeat it was never my intention to do anything other than pay the right amount. I must also consider the significant toll and pressure that this is placing on my family, the pressure of the media on my family," and I think you saw that in the interview I did with her. "While I rightly expect proper scrutiny on me and my life, my family did not choose to have their private lives interrogated and exposed. I have been clear throughout this process my priority has and always will be protecting my children and the strain I'm putting them through." She says, "The strain I'm putting them through staying in this post has become," let me just find this, "unbearable." So I'm just lost my spot. "The strain I'm putting them under through staying in post has become unbearable. Given the findings and the impact on my family, I have decided to resign as Deputy Prime Minister, Secretary of State for Housing, Communities, Local Government, as well as Deputy Leader of the Labour Party." She then goes on to talk a bit about her backstory. "For a teenage mum from a council estate in Stockport to serve as the highest level of government has been the honour of my life." Angela Rayner goes on to say, "The challenges of government are nothing compared to the challenge of putting food on the table and getting a roof over our head when I brought up kids working as a home help. Too many people face the same across our country." She goes on to say, "I've always known that politics changes lives because it changed mine. The last Labour government gave me the tools I needed to build a better life for me and my son. And that's why I've been working relentlessly in government to do the same for the next generation." She goes on to say, "Every day I had in office, I worked to serve working class communities, which are too often overlooked. I'm proud that in every decision I made, I did it for them. I would never have become Deputy Prime Minister if not for the decisions taken by the last Labour government." And she goes on to some of the things that the Labour government did for her and her family. She then goes on to give a record of some of the things she did in government, talking about the Renters' Rights Bill, the Planning and Infrastructure Bill, so going through her record, and the English Devolution Bill. She also mentions the fact that the government delivered votes for 16 to 17-year-olds. So there's quite a lengthy letter here in which she goes through all of her achievements in government. And I'm going to scroll down to the end. She says, "For me, being in office is the chance to change the lives of the people I grew up alongside. I will do whatever I can to continue doing so. Thank you for your leadership and your friendship. I will continue to serve you, our country, and the party and movement I love in the weeks, months and years ahead." So that is Angela Rayner's letter to the Prime Minister.